Hey there, I'm professional psychic Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up Sundays for November 20th, 2022. So, as usual, I'm going to be talking about the transits for the entire week. I'll do mini readings for all 12 signs, and this week I'm going to include what the new moon in Sag this week is going to do for each sign. So, I'm going to add a little piece of astrology into the usual place where I'm just reading out of the tarot. So, a little bit extra. And I'm going to sing and play on the piano an Elton John song at the end. And I will put the timestamps below for the music, for the mini readings, so you can see which ones pertain to you. I always ask that you look at your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign, or if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a sign, make sure you check out that. But we all have all 12 signs in our chart. We may or may not have planets in those signs in our chart, but we'll have a sign ruling a particular house in our chart. So, really, all the readings should pertain to some area of your life. If you know about the houses, then you can know more about that. And when I'm doing the mini readings this week, I'll be diving a little bit into what each house means. So, okay. So the sun is at 28 degrees of Scorpio today in a beautiful trine with Jupiter at 28 degrees of Pisces. What does that mean? A trine is a positive sign, a positive connection. It's like when you're ringing a gong, it brings out like the best, the highest vibrations of each planet. Each planet, each sign, each house has positives and negatives. Things that are going to work really great for you, things that could be challenging or obstacles. So in a trine, it brings out the best of both signs. So the sun's at 28 degrees. There's only 29 degrees. Tomorrow is going to be at the last degree of the sign. Each degree starts at 0 degrees and moves to 29 to have 30 degrees in each sign. So as the sun transits a degree a day, it moves through a particular season. So we've been moving through Scorpio season. Scorpio rules the 9th house in astrology, and it's the deep, dark waters. It's a water sign. It's a fixed sign. It's a fixed water. So this is like energy that doesn't move very well. It wants to know what the plan is. It digs its heels in deep. It's about death and transformation. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So any energies in Pluto is in Scorpio is bringing in this plutonic energy of transformation. So anytime any planet, the moon, any of the transiting planets move through Scorpio, it can dredge up things deep within our psyche. It can Scorpio is past lives. It's our karma. It's the karma. Karma is like our bank account, all the causes that we've set over all our lifetimes. If we've put great causes out into the universe in our various lifetimes, we have really good karma. If we've been kind of shitty, our karma can be kind of shitty, So it's like you can often look to your karma. If you can't explain while something's going down in this lifetime, you can't explain a connection with someone else or a connection with a particular place or with a particular thing, you can count on that there's been some sort of karmic attachment in past lives. So when we have planets or points moving through Scorpio, it's an opportunity to let go of karmic patterns. The South Node is moving through Scorpio. It's moving the opposite direction. It's at 12 degrees now. It is where we're releasing, we're letting go of. And in the last month, we had both Venus, which represents our love, how we receive energy, our relationships, our money and finances. It moved through Scorpio. So we were dredging up karmic patterns around money and finances, karmic patterns around relationships, karmic patterns on how we receive energy from others or not, right? And then we also had Mercury, the planet that rules our thoughts, our communications with others, moving through Scorpio. So we're having deep, dark thoughts, deep level connections with others, deep conversations with other people, perhaps. Deep writing in your journal, deep therapy sessions. These are all possibilities as we've had the stellium moving through Scorpio. It's been very, very intensive. In the last week, we've had Mercury and Venus move into Sag. It's moving into from the deep dark waters into a fire sign. That's a mutable sign. Mutable is like flexible. It wants to move about the space. It wants to explore. Sagittarius energy, Sag rules the ninth house in astrology. So it's about exploring in all kinds of ways, exploring our minds and knowledge and learning of all kinds. Anytime you have like initials after your name, you've gotten your master's, your PhD, your MD, your whatever, your credentialing of any kind, that's ninth house Sagittarius stuff. Also, spiritual knowledge and growth and development of all kinds, access to our own higher self, our inner guru, following the teachings of some other spiritual teacher. These are all ninth house things as well. So expanding your mind and consciousness, expanding your spiritual capacities, growth and development, expanding your horizons. Ninth house is also the house of foreign travel. So connecting all around the globe or connecting with people around from other parts of the country. So these are all Sagittarius ninth house themes. So as the planets now, we're going to have a stellium in Sagittarius. So we've just got Venus and Mercury on there, but the sun is going to be moving in Sag on Tuesday on the 22nd. So we'll have a beginning of a new Sagittarius sign as the sun moves through. And right now, Venus and Mercury are really like on lockstep. They're both at 5 degrees today. So they're in lockstep all week long. They're kind of transiting together. So this is our heart, Venus, and our minds, Mercury, in harmony. What a concept that we're gonna have, like things can align, right? Starting this new, like new beginnings, new explorations. And we'll have a new moon on Wednesday, the 23rd. I have it that it'll be at 4:57 p.m. That's Austin, Texas time, Central United States time. So the new moon is when the moon and the sun are together in the skies. It's new beginnings, new growth. It's a great time to do treasure maps, vision boarding, like make a goal, make a plan. What's really cool about we're starting a new pattern. So we have this the moon and the sun at 1 degree of Sag on Wednesday for the new moon. So just right into the Sagittarius, it's sort of initiating and it's activating these Sag themes. The ruler of Sag is Jupiter, and Jupiter is a benefic. It brings good luck. It makes things bigger. It brings rewards. It's about knowledge and truth and justice and just like the good fruits of the vine, but it's been retrograde. Jupiter's been retrograde. Jupiter's like a vending machine / casino machine all combined. It like has all this potential to dispense all this fortune, but it's like it's unplugged when it's retrograde. It's not that you have things taken away as much when Jupiter's retrograde, but it's like the benefits don't flow in as well. So the ruler of this new moon, Jupiter, is over there at 28 degrees of Pisces. Again, it's in a trine with the sun today. It's going to be stationing to go direct on Wednesday, right before this new moon. So it's like the same day that there's a new moon in Sag, the ruler of that new moon, Jupiter, goes direct. And anytime a planet goes forward or backwards, it stations, it is as it's at its most potent, its most powerful. So Jupiter at its most powerful this week, and a new moon happening within 24 hours of it going direct is a super auspicious new beginning. Not only that, it starts a pattern. The next 5 new moons in a row are all around 1 degrees of their sign. So here in November, we're having a new moon at 1 degree of Sag. And then where did I write the notes of this? I wrote this down somewhere. In December, the new moon will be in Capricorn at 1 degree. In January, the new moon will be at Aquarius at 1 degree. February, the new moon is going to be in Pisces at 1 degree. Then in March, it's at 1 degree. And then in April, we have a new moon solar eclipse at 29 degrees and 50 seconds of Aries, which is the same point that Mars was at when January 6th in 2021 happened. So we have an eclipse coming up in April, that's at the same point where Mars was when January 6th happened. So that's very auspicious. So 5 new moons in a row, all at 1 degree of their sign. So it's like initiating new beginnings in all these new ways, because the first decan of any sign is really more personal. So there's like big time personal changes. Not only that, but I'll probably do a video overview of the new year as I see it coming up. But already the most powerful month in our near future is March, because we have Mars retrograde right now. It went retrograde it was around the end of October, around the Halloween. And so it is retrograde going backwards through Gemini, which feels like Mercury retrograde on steroids, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So all things about communication and technology and all that, Mars is going backwards in the sign that rules all these things until the middle of January. Mercury also goes retrograde in December. So in December into January, we'll have both Mars and Mercury retrograde. It can be a gnarly turn of the year, just with communications and little glitches and stuff going down. But in March, so Mars starts turning direct and Mercury will both turn direct in January. It takes until the end of March for Mars to go into Cancer, a new sign. It usually takes 6 weeks to go through a sign. By the time it goes into Cancer at the end of March, it will have been in Gemini for 7 months. So this is a long time for Mars, the planet that represents how we take action and put energy into things. It's our ego. It's how we rile up and get passionate for life. It's the god of war. So backwards, it can back up all this like energy we want to put into things, and we have to be like, whoa, don't push it, don't rush it, allow things to unfold. When Mars is retrograde, we can't force things. It's like trying to force a bull to go in. I mean, that's Taurus, but Aries is the ram, so try to force a ram to do something, right? Good luck with that. So we just kind of are going to be kind of offline. In January, it starts moving back forward, but it's going to be retracing territory it's already gone retrograde over, and then it finally shifts degrees, shifts signs in March. Not only that, also shifting in March, Pluto moves into Aquarius for the first time in over 250 years. And it'll go back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn for the next 2 years, but it'll have its first dip, its toe into Aquarius in March. Saturn, which has been in Aquarius, is going to dip its toe in. It's actually going to move into Pisces to stay as well in March. So in March, we have these major shifts and changes. Jupiter will be back in Aries by then. So there is like I feel like major changes are happening between February and April. Like that's the major shifting points. And if you're looking for something that's like backing up or hasn't started moving forward in your life, you may look to March for something to be launched or whatever. So I'm just, feeling that. So we have this first new moon of 5 new moons at 1 degrees of the sign starting this coming week. So it's a great new beginning time. And on that note, I'm going to be launching on Wednesday, regular Wednesday videos. They're not going to be the same format as these Sunday videos. They'll be on a particular topic, and that topic will change every week. They'll probably be shorter videos unless I'm doing an interview, which I plan to do as well. So on Wednesdays, I'll be launching new videos starting on this new moon in Sag, which just happens to be trining my Mercury, which is all about communication and social media, also trining my Mars and my Sun. So it's a great time for me to launch things. Also, if you have planets or points in any of the fire signs, you're going to feel this activated personally. Like I said, my Mercury is at 1 degree of Aries, exactly trine this. And my Sun at 5 degrees of Aries, my Mars at 5 degrees of Leo is also going to be trining this new moon. So this makes a grand trine with my personal planets of Mars, Mercury, and the Sun. So this should be a great new beginning, new launch for me. Anybody else that's a fire sign with planets or points in these first few degrees of Leo, Aries, or Sag, particularly if you've got it in Sag, because that's where the focused energy is. Also interesting at this time, Jupiter, which is turning direct at 28 degrees, is 1 degree off my natal Jupiter at 27 degrees. So it's conjunct. So it's like a Jupiter to Jupiter kiss, which you can't get better luck than Jupiter and Jupiter together. So anyway, personally, I'm using this to launch a new video day and a new sort of series of videos that just stand on their own. They're not going to be tied into the transits or what's going on. There'll be topics that are good for all times. For example, what are all the houses and what do they represent? What are all the signs and what do they represent? What's past lives about? What's about, all kinds of different topics that will change every day. So if there's a particular topic you would like for me to cover, send me a note and I'll put on. I've already been writing down a list of topics. So I'll let those be guided from week to week too. I also plan in the new year to start up some new groups and classes. A psychic development class will be formed online, and these are going to be online groups and classes. I'm going to be doing some group past life regressions. I'm also going to be do some group rebirthings. So I'll have more information coming out about those. Those will be starting up in January. I'm also going to be putting separate music videos out. I'm going to continue putting music at the end of my Psyched-Up Sundays moving forward, but I'm going to be also putting out some little mini concerts on music videos as well. So and for those of you who don't know, I've been a professional psychic in Austin, Texas since 1988. So in January, that'll be 35 years. And then I've been a musician from the womb. My mother is a piano teacher. So I don't remember a time without a Steinway Grand in my memories. And, I play piano, flute, and guitar, and I sing and I write as well. So that's been something that's been on the way back burner as I've been raising my 6 children. But now that those children are all gone, I have more energy to put into my music as well as this psychic work. So that's why I'm weaving it into these videos. But take what you like, leave the rest. I like to say that. So I want to revisit some more themes of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is like the spiritual teacher, right? It's knowledge of all kinds. It's also those that are teaching. It's law and lawyers. That's another thing that requires extra learning, extra credentialing. Even if you're autodidactic, you have taught yourself and you do a lot of reading. That's me. That's also ninth house. Ninth house can be the guru, the spiritual teacher, the leader, the preacher, the mentor. It can also be the know-it-all and the person who has a lot of arrogance around it. So that's sort of the downside of it. You can have someone who's really spiritually adept and super wise. But so there's 2 kinds of wisdom, right? There's the wisdom that you amass through knowledge that you've learned or experienced through your life. Then there's your spiritual, intuitive wisdom, which taps into all knowledge, the knowledge in multiple lifetimes, the knowledge that's in the universe. It's a bigger expansive energy. So when I channel, information comes not from what I know, but through me from this higher place, this inner wisdom. I believe all of us have the access to an inner divine inner wisdom. So as planets are moving through Sag, it's an opportunity to get in touch with your own internal teacher. Like, where is your wisdom coming from? And the Mercury and Venus traveling together in Sag right now is really, it should be that much easier to be clear about your path in life. Like, does it resonate? Is your heart happy? Does it make sense and logical with your mind? Like, when things are aligned and you're on the right track, you love your life. You love what you're doing. You love the people around you. Like, it just feels good. There's this flow. There's a synchronicity that shows you back, little kisses from the universe. Conversely, when you're off track, which usually means you're not listening to your intuition, you're following what you think you should do or what you've been told to do or what you just are figuring it out to do, like mental, that is limited because you could logically do something that's completely off for your life. So Sag is about the exploring things on all kinds of levels, exploring the whole planet, exploring the universe. So exploring also your own inner world. Where is this coming from? Like, when I first started trying to develop my abilities, because I was told by many, many psychics I was psychic, I was trying to well, what's my mind and what's intuition? What's the difference? And what I discerned was that there was a different energy when it was coming from a higher divine place, often coming with electrical field. Like it just feels like energy, like someone turned on like zzz, some sort of energy field force, and it's moving through the top of my head. I feel it down my face. I feel it down my arms. So like I can feel it like electrical, like something is just like pouring into me in electrical energy level, right? Conversely, when it's coming from my mind or my very smart brain that I've learned, it has there's a more rigidity to it. And sometimes it'll come with, you need to, you have to. It could be a harsher tone internally, even when it's coming from the mind, because the mind is more like a little computer, whereas the intuition can have grace and compassion. And there's a sweeter energy when it's the voice of the intuition. It's like, wouldn't you love to, wouldn't it be fabulous if, there's like a drawing. So if you notice, if you're at an indecision and you're trying to figure out what to do and your mind keeps going back and forth and back and forth, which everyone can be under the influence of, with Mars retrograde in the sign of the twins that rules the head. So it's like, we can all be like, so it's this movement into Sag. We have this opportunity to access inner wisdom, but also we can like just make the mind king, and we could, just because it's logical and rational doesn't mean it's the right thing for your life. When it's the right thing for your life, something within you opens up and relax. And when it's not the right thing, there's something that will tense up, brace up, shut down, clench up. Like pay attention to what your physical body is doing, even around relationships, like exploring new relationship. Is this relationship right for me? Well, does things feel like they're opening up, and not just physically, sexually, but like, or something feel guard? Like, does the heart feel open? Does the heart feel guarded? On the backside of the chakra, maybe. Like sometimes the guardedness comes on the backsides of our chakras. So, which is another topic I'm going to be talking about on Wednesdays. Is one of the topics will be chakras and a guided meditation around that. So in this season of Sag that we're entering into, and there's a new moon that kicks it off, it's an opportunity to explore all kinds of new things. What do you want to learn and explore? Is there some subject you'd like to dive into? This is the time to pull out a book on the subject, or decide to start watching YouTube videos on the subject, or spending time meditating, praying, chanting, tapping into whatever spiritual teacher out there is calling to you. Their message is calling to you. It resonates as truth. Then this is Sagittarius kind of energy to follow all of these things. So one other thing about Sag is they have a reputation, as I've seen it, as being like the most likely to be non-monogamous. That can be openly poly and loving it. Like I respect people who would just say, I'm just not monogamous. I'm ethically non-monogamous. I'm poly, whatever. And they're upfront about it. Beautiful. I've seen some really beautiful connections with people who are just open-hearted and open to love and not be clinging or possessive with other people. Everybody on board has to be, on board with it. And then it can really be beautiful. I see a lot of people who say they're in a committed relationship, and really internally they're not monogamous and they're messing around, but they're presenting to be monogamous. That can often be the Sag. Let me just say, Sagittarius. And sometimes Sagittarius moons in particular just can't commit, don't want to, love everybody. So I say, if you love everybody and you don't really want to commit, rock that, love that, embrace that, be truthful and honest about that, and enjoy that. And there are Sages that are super loyal too. It's not just, but I often see that Sag, that wanderlust, wanting to explore new things, new people, new relationships. That can be a Sag trait. Another Sag trait that I can see is open mouth and insert foot. Like Sagittarius will something, because they're about truth. They'll just kind of be blurting out what the truth is about a situation. They may have not stopped to tap into whether the other person is able to receive this truth or not right now. Like that's what I can see. You can often be just like spilling out truth indeed, but is it appropriate? Is it nice? Is it true? Is it necessary to say right now? Like just like pause. The good news about Mars being retrograde, it's easier to pause. Sometimes we can want to take action and we can't with Mars retrograde. So So we've really got some beautiful energy this week. Kicking off Sunday, we have this beautiful trine between the sun and Jupiter, just bringing this beautiful kiss to start off the week. And then the moon's been moving through Libra today. It just trined Saturn, which is a very, very positive connection between the planet that's about, let's put the boundaries up here, let's do it this way. And the moon moving through Libra is about justice and fairness. It's also about relationships and finding your way and finding the balance in relationships. And so the moon, after I finish recording this, will be trining Mars this evening. So that's another beautiful kiss. Even though Mars is retrograde, the moon in Libra trining Mars, there could be a beautiful synchronicity between, you know, what you're intuiting the moon and what action to be taking. Like you might get a strong intuitive hit, especially with the sun and Jupiter in a trine, and this, you know, really illuminating. The sun at 28 degrees is really at what are you deeply transforming? What have you deeply transformed over this last month? You know, and tomorrow's like the final test of like, did you get her done? Did you clear out something deep? Did you shift a karmic pattern? Did you finish something? The South Node is still left behind in Scorpio. If you didn't, the South Node is going to continue to work on helping you let go of things you need to be letting go of. But moving into Sag, a fire sign that's mutable, it's like it's gonna feel a lot easier than this deep dark. I mean, what happens to water when it doesn't flow and it just sits there and starts to get really gross really quick, right? That's what happens if we get too deeply stuck in the deep Scorpio waters and we're not moving our stuff. If we're down there with our scuba gear on and we're going, oh, look at this, I need to, oh, you know, and we're letting go of the stuff that comes up in our face when we're getting triggered, we're noticing, oh, well, what's the point that is hooked in me? Like anytime you're getting triggered by anyone else, the trigger itself is something within you that is not healed completely. And so as planets move through Scorpio, we can be triggered a lot. So have you been going through a lot of getting triggered, in which case you may still be processing that? We move into Sag, then we can start learning about some of this stuff. Oh, that's what I mean. We can have some delayed reaction in what we've learned because we may be so deeply in it that we can't see what we've done. And then as the sun and these planets moving through Sag, we're like, oh, we're getting new perspective, new fresh air, new eyes to be able to see our evolution and what we're doing. Right now, we're moving into exploration in this next month. And Jupiter is active. It's active because of all these planets in Sag, and Jupiter's the ruler, bringing good luck. And then it's going direct this week. So it's an extra special kiss, new beginnings. Again, I invite you to write your vision, you know, do your vision boards, create your list of what you want to manifest and create in your life. What is new in terms of like knowledge, learning, spiritual development, travel plans, all these things. It's time to make those plans. Okay, so the moon's in Libra today, tomorrow, and then tomorrow it moves into Scorpio. Then the moon is still in Scorpio on Tuesday. And then, of course, it moves into Sag in time for the new moon, which will be like, again, at 1 degree. So the moon will change signs in the day on Wednesday from Scorpio into Sag. So again, from the deep dark waters of Scorpio. So as the moon is in these waters of Scorpio in Monday and Tuesday, it can be, again, clearing out these lessons, and the sun at the last degree of Scorpio on Monday, clearing that out. And then the moon, and as the sun moves into this new sign of Sagittarius, it's at 0 degrees initially, and the initial change of signs can always feel kind of weird and wiggy. New moons can feel really kind of odd. I mean, there's no reflection of the moon at night, so it can feel weird and strange, but it is the time to plant new seeds, start new things, begin new things. And these things can just show up. It can just pop up, like all of a sudden a little seedling comes up out of the ground, symbolically or literally in your life, that there's some new little things that could just pop up from fertilization that's already gone down. You can have some really beautiful growth going on this week. We have a trine on Thursday between Mercury, which is in which is in Sag, and Chiron, which is in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It's at 12 degrees of Aries. It's retrograde right now. So if you put the 12 together, the 1 is about what your heart wants to connect with, what you love. The 2 is what you feel. So Chiron in this mid-decan at this degree of Aries is working out feeling safe basically in our connections with others, and who is mirroring back to us loving affirmative messages, and do I feel like this is the best place for me to be, and healing it areas where we couldn't follow our heart and we couldn't do what feels right for us. Like if we've been forced to do something in our past, like Chiron can be healing that feeling of like, that's not what I chose. Someone else made me choose. My parents made me choose this, or my old partner or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, my kids, whatever, my grandma made me choose this, my teachers and my coach. There's all kinds of others, right, that could have forced you to do something that your heart didn't want to do. And so this can be a healing time for that this week, particularly with Mercury, our head, our thinking, our communication training. So we could get some insight, some ideas about what those things have been, even have conversations where we go, oh, we could have like these realizations around areas that we're healing. A trine again is a beautiful kiss. And then Venus trines Chiron on Friday. So then we have a beautiful healing kiss between the planet about our love, our relationships, our heart, how we receive energy. So there's a lovely double day of kisses and healing from Chiron going on this week, right after the new moon. So that's also a really beautiful energy this week. The moon moves into Capricorn on Friday. It's in Capricorn on Saturday. The moon moves into Aquarius on Sunday. So that's the trackings of the moon. So the moon in Libra, about relationships. The moon in Scorpio, diving deep within ourselves. The moon in Sagittarius, learning, development, exploration, growth. The moon in Capricorn, let's work hard. Let's get things done. Let's do that plan we made. Moon into Aquarius, let's all vibe together. Let's all work together. These are kind of the general themes of the signs as the moon moves through it. So notice, see if you can pay attention this week, is if you notice different things that are going on in correlation with where the moon is, or if you notice the shift of signs with the sun, when the sun moves from Scorpio into Sag. Do you notice it? Do you feel it? If you're paying attention, it's easy. There's a shift of energies. So I just invite you to pay attention to the shifts of energies. Okay, we have a backdrop of Mars retrograde in a square with Neptune. Mars is at 22 degrees of Gemini. Neptune's at 22 degrees of Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Neptune retrograde is like being offline. Pisces is the slippery fish, right? Neptune rules Pisces. So there's always the theme of Neptune energy or Pisces energy of there's a high road where there's psychic and spiritual connection, reveals, dreams, visions, spiritual epiphanies. And then on the low side, illusion, delusion, addiction, being caught up into fuzzy thinking, being sleepy. Neptune rules the waters and it dissolves things and it can take things away in a negative energy. So Mars retrograde in a square with Neptune, usually the outer planet because it moves slower, has the upper hand. So the god of war backwards, Neptune, the god of the waters, in a square, it could be really difficult to get clear. You could feel fuzzy thinking. Your allergies could be really bad, like mine are right now. Like molds have been bad. Molds are bad here in Austin, just year round. And we just had cedar. So it's always something in this town. That's the big downside of living here is all the allergens. My eyes are either puffing up or watering or stopped up or something all year round. But so Neptune can rule mucus and all these kind of things too. So whenever, there's a lot of energy connecting with Neptune, it can mean head congestions and colds and mucusy stuff, COVID. So there's a square with Mars and Neptune. So people could be stopped in their tracks due to illness. Flus are been really bad lately, right? So this is an example. And Mars and Neptune have been in a square for a while. They're more exact this week at 22 degrees. So, and they are parked, and they're both parked at 22 degrees all week. So there can be this level where you just want to check out, just get drunk or stoned or whatever, sit in front of video games all day long or whatever, like to check out is really easy this week, just saying. So to try to be more present and be okay with this retrograde energy of Mars and Neptune, that's an opportunity to go within and make plans and say, where do I want to be putting my energies? Am I following my heart and my intuition in terms of my taking actions? Because sometimes we get, hold up, slow up, wait, stop, because we're being redirected by the universe. So maybe the plans and the things we've been trying to force are supposed to be shifting and changing. So there's a lot of that kind of like stop and just like fill it out this week. It's okay. It's like put it in park, put it on coast, you know, because this square is a backdrop all week long. So the nodes, the north and south node, I talked about the south node being at 12 degrees, the north node's at 12 degrees of Taurus. So it's still over there conjunct Uranus. Uranus is at 16 degrees right now. So they're like 4 degrees off, a little bit further. They're still activated. So Uranus can shake up the universe. It can still shake things up, we're supposed to be focused on creating value and valuing ourselves and taking care of our food in our bodies and that kind of stuff with Uranus and Taurus. It's been a backdrop for a while, especially when the North Node moved into Taurus in January of this year. And it'll be in Taurus until the summertime next year. Pluto is now going direct again in Capricorn. It's going to come back again. It's at 26 degrees. It's going to be exactly conjunct the United States Pluto, just coming right around the bend. We're already feeling that conjunction, 1 degree off. United States Pluto, when it was formed, was at 27 degrees of Capricorn. So the Pluto's already crossed over it and come back again. So we are transforming the very foundation that this country was built on. And not only in this country, these last degrees of Capricorn, Pluto, which is the wrecking ball, the great destroyer, transformation, death and transformation, is transforming Capricorn, these last degrees, the good old boys network, the way we've always done things, the established way, the earth, like Capricorn is an earth sign. It's the way we've always done things, you know, and the paradigm that this country was founded on was the rich white man had the power. Pluto is changing that paradigm. And so over the next 2 years, we'll see towers of Babel falling all around the globe, where people who have been top down power over because of their, you know, race, sex, and pocketbook are the rulers. That story is beginning to take a hard fall. And when Pluto moves into Aquarius to stay in the middle of November of 2024, we're going to be seeing a different reality. We start getting a taste of that in March. So it's going to be super interesting what world events, national events, personal events. I guarantee you March is a history-making month next year. It happens to be my 60th birthday month. So that's history-making as well. I know I don't look 60 or look like I have 6 children, but both of those facts are true. They're true facts. Put it that way. Okay, well, I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything else I need to talk about with transits. So the mutable signs of Sagittarius give us lots of variety, lots of choices. So it's important to stay flexible and like just drink in these positive vibes of Mercury, Venus, and the Sun being in a stellium in Sag. Beautiful energy. It's like, and again, this Jupiter energy is coming alive because it's stationing. So it doesn't move. It's 28 degrees all week long. It changes like from 50 seconds to 48 seconds kind of thing. It's like, is the only, but other than that, it's like, it's really like, this is the largest planet in our solar system at a standstill as it shifts directions. And it is the most beneficial planet besides Venus. So it's bringing beautiful benefits and good luck. Like if you put in good karmic causes and you've been working hard to really do your side of the street and click, Jupiter can bring you some really fabulous benefits going forward here this week. So it could be like, you get a kiss. Here you go. Like Oprah giving out her Christmas things, and you get a this and you get a that. And the vending machines and the slot machines get plugged back in, and you can be dispensing what you need. Let me see, what else do I have in my notes? Yeah, this Venus and Mercury conjunct all week. That's also really beautiful. We've got some really lovely transits again for this week. Trines, when it's just trines going on and planets stationing direct and new moons, like it's a beautiful week. Another one, I am pleased to tell you that we have another beautiful week on tap. So that's the good news. It should be a good news week. Again, like if you don't just check out because of the Mars square Neptune energy, this is an opportunity week, an opportunity to really grow, learn, develop, have more energy, feel more excited about a new plan and the potentials that can open up. Like Sag is like that great explorer, whether it's the astronaut or the pioneer. It's like ready to go where no man has gone before. So be willing to open up to something brand new coming into your life. Take a little pause here and then I'll move into mini readings. Okay, I'm back and you didn't even miss me. I had to get more water. All right, so I'm going to use my Osho Zen Tarot deck and I'm going to be tuning into the energies of all 12 signs. And then I'll also be talking about what you can expect with this new moon in Sag, which area of your life it's affecting by sign. Now, it's really best to know your rising sign when it comes to this, because the rising sign can often be way more accurate in terms of predicting energies than your sun sign. For example, my sun sign is Aries. So this is happening, the new moon's happening in my 9th house. As a Libra rising, it's happening in my 3rd house. And so, if you know your sun and your moon, you're going to feel the energies in both wherever you're. And if you're, a lot of people have their rising and their sun sign the same sign. So that then it doesn't matter. It's just going to be a stronger influence in that part of your chart. So if these don't resonate to you, the astrological pieces, it may be because you're not listening to your rising sign. So I really suggest when it comes to astrology that you look up your rising sign first in horoscopes and all that kind of stuff. But this should also resonate the different signs, whether or not it's your sun, your moon, your rising, or if you have a stellium. These areas should be activated for you by the new moon. All right, so we'll start with the Aries. So the new moon will be in your 9th house, which is the house of Sagittarius. It's the one I've just been talking at length about all this new transit energy. So the new moon could mean new plans to explore the planet, literally, or meeting new people from other parts of the planet, deciding to study something new, to add to your sense of knowledge, to start a new spiritual program or development. Personal, spiritual, intuitive development of all kinds is the 9th house. So this new moon, this new beginning is in this area of your life. And I've drawn the Fool card, which is about taking a leap of faith, jumping off that cliff, following your own intuition. So the Fool here is not about you are being foolish. This is about that you follow your intuition and it doesn't matter what other people think, what their assessment of what your choices are none of your business, right? It's just important that you align your heart, what feels right for you, and go for it. Like Aries right now, because Mars, our ruling planet, is retrograde, it can feel hard to initiate things, like to get things going. But this new moon in Sag, which is trining Aries planets, especially if you have anything in those first degrees of Aries, this is giving you an extra kiss to move forward, to start something new, to giving you the extra jolt of energy to get something going. What do you want to learn? What area of your life do you want to expand? What places in your life do you want to explore on the planet that you want to explore? These are the things you look at and go for it. This Fool is saying, take a leap of faith, go for it. That's what I have for the Aries. All right, Tauruses, this new moon is happening in your 8th house. 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. It's the house of other people's money, money we receive from other people. It's the house of death and taxes, people in our lives that have died. New beginnings when it comes to every time there's a death, there's a rebirth. So what in your life is dying off? What is new beginning here? It's also the house of the psychic. So you may be having plans to develop your abilities in a new way, or taking a new class, or just seeing that new psychic hits are just coming to you. Your dreams may be more vivid. There's something powerfully new starting up in this house of death and transformation, the 8th house. So it could be a start of a new sexual relationship, or maybe your current relationship starts getting really juicy. That's another way that it can show up for you in the 8th house. I've drawn the outsider card. So this card at first glance looks like I can't. The little boy is sitting there at the locked gate and he's looking through and he just can't get to where he wants to go. However, if you look closer at this card, look at the lock. It's just hanging there unlocked. It's not actually fastened. So this card symbolizes we tell ourselves we can't. If you tell yourselves you can't, you won't. You will block it yourself. So this card is saying you're blocking yourself in some way. Where in your life are you saying I can't? For whatever the reason is, you can come up with a bazillion excuses as to why you can't. But if it's something your heart is longing for you to do, and you tell yourself, okay, I don't know how, but I'm going to trust that I can. What one step can I take today towards that? You know, if a goal feels overwhelming, it feels too big to try to accomplish, what can I do today to move towards this future goal? Even if it's to stop and visualize being on the other side of it, being there at your goal. It's one of the most powerful ways that you can do that visualization work. But to tell yourselves you can instead of I can't, I'm willing to is a way to shift that. Instead of I can't, okay, I'm willing to. It's an easier movement than I can, because, and I don't know if you've read the little kids book about the little engine that could, right? I think I can, 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 I think I can. When you tell yourselves you can over and over and over again, then you can shift it. That's how affirmations work. It doesn't just work to say, I am abundantly blessed and prospered once. I mean, unless it fundamentally shifts something and you have a major aha spiritual transformational moment with that one statement, generally you have to repeat something over and over and over again to really have it take, right? Even our own learning comes from repetition. How did we learn the alphabet? By singing the alphabet song over and over and over again when we were little, right? So when we're learning something new, it requires repetitive thoughts. And so when you're trying to shift out of a karmic block or an area where you've blocked yourself in for a long time, it just takes consistent, persistent effort to hold a different vision, to tell yourself something different, especially to shift a deep seated belief system. Like if you believe you're fundamentally unable to, and it's something you actually can do, you've just told yourself so much that you don't believe it. That takes some work to shift, but it can be shifted. You just have to make that determination. So that's what I get for the Tauruses. All right, we'll move on to the Geminis. So this new moon in Sag is happening in your 7th house, which is the house of relationships. So you could have a new relationship that gets sparked. new relationships of all kinds, but it's one-on-one relationships. It can be a new friend, a new coworker, a new partner, a new boyfriend or girlfriend, a new potential husband or wife. That can happen. If you're already in a committed relationship, it could be a new aspect that comes out of your already existing relationship, something, a new development, since it's Sagittarius, in your relationships. And with you having Sag ruling your seventh house, you love to explore things in relationships. So even like a new, maybe you're getting together and forming a new band, or you're getting together with others to do a writer's workshop or whatever, like connecting with others. In that seventh house is wanting to find my tribe. So this new beginning, this new moon in Sag for you guys can be like finding a new tribe, exploring new relationships. You might get drawn to a new group. I've drawn the aloneness card. This card's been coming up more than any other for the last couple of months. So this card is about the spiritual search, which you always do alone. It's about finding your own connection with the divine in the way that's palatable to you. It's not about following religious programming unless your religious programming resonates for you. If doing the rosary because you've spent your whole life being Catholic really does something for you, awesome. Use that to tap into the divine, use what works for you. If you found tools that work for you, use them. If chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo works for you to tap into the divine, use that. If breathing deeply and just focusing on the energy of a loving higher power works for you, do that. If being out in nature is how you feel connected to the divine, or staring at the stars at night, like whatever does it for you. This card is about doing it, like not giving lip service to it, or like, oh yeah, I meditate sometimes, and then you really don't. This is about really doing it. This is like really carving out the time where you turn off your brain and your mind, you turn off your emotional body, and you just tap in to the divine. For Geminis, this is a lot harder because y'all, the mind just goes cray. Especially with Mars retrograde in your sign right now, it's like it can feel really crazy making. But this is about a call to silence, a call to quiet, a call to connecting with the divine, your higher self, so that you can then receive intuitive information that's strong and clear. When you get all caught up in the frenetic energy of your brain and all your ideas and stuff, most Geminis I know, super creative, bazillion ideas about all kinds of things. But to have a connection with the divine, you need to like slide that stuff to the side, right? And just be clear and open. Same thing with the emotional body, all those things you're sorting through and wrestling with internally. Table it. Just be a clear channel. Just connect with the divine in a pure way, not through your head and thinking, not through your heart and feeling, but just in beingness. That's what I'm getting for the Geminis. All right, let's move to the Cancers. All right, so this new moon in Sag is happening in your sixth house. The sixth house, my old lisp is coming back. The sixth house is the house of your health. So you may want to have new beginnings when it comes to dietary changes, any way of taking care of your physical health, your physical routine, sleeping, eating, resting, exercising, all that, meditating, a new groove. It could also be a new job, new work, because sixth house can be the house of work. It can be the house of service to others. You might want to start a new volunteer position. It's also just the house of daily life and what we get done on a daily basis. Maybe a new routine for yourself, and just to like, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to meditate for this amount of time. I'm going to write in my journal for this amount of time. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to, whatever you're going to cover for the day. That could be like launching a new routine with this Sag in your sixth house. All right, let's see what the card is for y'all. The participation card. This is about getting together with others. Of course, we have Thanksgiving week, which people are often getting together with families in particular, but also close friends. I know lots of friends that are having Friendsgivings when they're just getting together with friends. But this is a time of gathering with other people. This card is about 4 different people gathering together and putting their energies to good use together. So this week would be about coming together, working with others. This could be beyond the Thanksgiving dinner, however. This could be a project at work or a project you're trying to do at school or something or something you want to do with friends. You want to get together with friends and do a drum circle. You want to get together with friends and do some yoga or some music or, chanting together or whatever, meditating together, going for a hike together, like working together with other people in some way and having everybody put in their unique differences to come together and to have something really cool that develops as a result. That's what I get for the Cancers. All right, Leos, this new moon in Sag is happening in your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of romance, sexuality, creativity, children. This is your house anyway as Leo. So this is like, yeah, my stomping ground. So it could be new romance that was started. People can have new children come into their lives, either through conceptions or grandchildren are being born, or you meet someone and they have children and these new children come into your life. You could start a new job that involves children, a new romance, reignite an old romance, start going after a creative passion. Like you're going to start writing that book. You're going to do that music. You're going to dance regularly. You're going to do your artwork. You're going to whatever is in that creative juju that you're going to begin in a way that like following your heart, following what brings you joy and going after it. And you've got the participation card. I just went into this. This is what the Cancers have. So this is about getting together with others. Of course, it's Thanksgiving week, so it's not surprising this card would come up more than once because this is about people gathering together in community, coming together with at least 4 people. And that can often be family. It can be friends. It can be groups of all kinds. But it is the pleasure of the diversity of energies coming together and the exchange of energies coming together and everybody working together to create something that's beautiful and good and whole. So beyond the Thanksgiving meal, it could be, getting together in a creative way, getting together with work, getting together to do something that everybody in the group wants to do. You could get all your friends together and get readings. There's all kinds of possibilities of what you can do when you all gather together. So this is definitely, of course, a lot of people are spending time with their family this week and close friends. So this is definitely community is going on this week. All right. Now I'm going to go to the Virgos. So this new moon in Sagittarius is happening in your 4th house of home and family. So this is 4th house is childhood home. So there could be some new insight. You might be going back to your childhood home this week. It could be issues and things coming up. Maybe you're going to put together a scrapbook and something new from old memories from home. It could also be the house of mom. So there could be something new that you're connecting with mom. Even if mom is crossed over, there may be new prayers to mom on a daily basis, or I'm going to be lighting a candle for mom on a regular basis if she's crossed. If she's still alive and in a body, you may start a new relationship with your mom, a new conversation with your mom, because mom is the 4th house. You could make some changes in your home, your literal home, wherever you're living now. New beginnings. You're going to repaint, refresh, remodel, rearrange. All these things could be going on. You could be moving homes with this new moon in your 4th house. Drawn the Master card. This is Osho in the Osho's intro. In a reading, it is representative of your higher self, your divine self, your Buddha nature, your Christ self, your inner wise soul. So there's a call to connect with this. You may be called into the position of being a master, whereas you're teaching, you're guiding, you're leading the way in some way. You're the one setting an example. You may be getting channeled information that you're supposed to be departing. You may be channeled information from the departed. You may be supposed to be imparting, is the word I was looking for, something you may get channeled in a dream, or something that you feel like you're supposed to be telling people, or maybe writing down and putting into a book. Or maybe you may just find that coming out of your mouth to people this week, where you just feel like you're telling. That's an experience of channeling, where you just, the right things are coming out your mouth into the people's ears that need to hear it, and they're like, wow, that's exactly what I need to hear. That can be happening this week with the Master card representing you for this week. So it's wisdom is coming out of every pore. You're receiving it from others. You're dispensing it as well. It feels like both things are going on this week. So it's really lovely for the Virgos. All right, Libras. This new moon in Sag is happening in your third house. Your third house is the house of communication, of writing, of social media, of siblings, of neighbors, of daily groove and daily life. So there can be new beginning. You may start that new creative project. If you've been like, I need to write that book, this may be the week you get that launched. You want to start a new social media thing on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on whatever else is out there. You want to start some sort of new social media presence, or you're going to record some new videos, or write some new things, or you're going to write all your friends, or you're going to email people, or you're going to be doing lots of texting, be connecting with siblings or neighbors. These are all things that could be kicked off with the Sagittarius new moon in your third house. I've drawn the morality card. This is the card that usually puts a stop on things. It's kind of like Saturn coming down with the kibosh and saying, nope, can't go there. Nope, can't do that. So there may be something you wanted to do that you get prevented from doing, in which case it's just rerouting. It doesn't feel like it's like, I feel like it may be a test of like not getting too wrapped up emotionally about it. This card also can come up when there's sexual abuse issues. You've been sexually abused as a child, or you've been raped or assaulted, and those issues get stirred up in your intimate relationships still now today, even if it happened decades ago. So this can be representative of some of that kind of stuff getting stirred up this week as well. Then Libras, it's not everybody, and some of you may have that. Maybe it's not you that have a problem with that, but maybe it comes up in a conversation with a loved one or a dear friend, that they share with you that they're having issues around this. This could also happen when something's close to you like that. This also could come up if someone's in jail, or they're stopped or blocked from something. So just, take things with ease, be careful on the roads while you're driving, like it just feels like take it easy. And don't worry too much about any blocks or things that come up this week. It feels like if something external is blocking you, it's just temporary. It's just like a hold, like just to hold on. Okay, whatever. Don't get too into a fight with it, is I guess what I'm getting. Is like, don't struggle with it too much. If something's externally is coming down, it's like, okay. And just, how are you being asked to be rerouted and doing something different? You just may have to change plans this week, that okay, well, I wasn't expecting to do that. Or you may have to, you could be around your shut down mother or father, and they're very rigid and controlling and intensive, and it could just feel intensive to be around someone like that this week. It could be also what's going down. It's not you, but you're having to be around someone who's completely shut down. And so that's that energy as well. It's like, okay, someone else in your family may just be still protecting themselves, having armor all over themselves because of something that's happened. Okay, then you give them grace, you have compassion, and you're open in case they want to bring it up and chat about it. It's not usually a situation you want to go, hey, I'm getting that you let's have a conversation. I think as a mother of 6, one of the things I've learned is it's better to wait till someone asks for your opinion or your advice than just to offer it up freely. Like, I get things all the time for people. Unless someone asks me what my opinion is or what I'm getting, I don't just volunteer it. So that's something I've learned as a mother of 6. Wait till they ask. Okay. Apparently you need that advice, Libra. All right. Go to Scorpios. This new moon in Sag is happening in your second house. The second house is the house of how you make your money, your finances. It could be a new job offer. Something new opens up in that way. Also, the second house is how you take care of your physical body, how you move your body, how you feed your body, how you clothe your body. So there could be, new shopping, new behaviors, or plans around food, around exercise, around routine, around even like a new savings plan, or what you're going to do differently around money and finances as well. Because second house is also how we store our money, how we store our food. So it's, yeah. So, and also the second house could be like how we decorate our bodies, right? To decorate the things around us too. So there could be some sort of new decorating, new desire to change up your wardrobe, change your hair up even, with this new moon in Sag in your second house. This is a nice one. We're the world. This represents the ultimate in potentiality. This says anything's possible anywhere on the planet. You are unlimited. We've got the universe and the stars all behind it. Here on the globe, there's all these people dancing and holding hands all around the planet. So there's this sense of unity, this beautiful collaboration and connection with others that's going on. So for some of you, this is family and friends at Thanksgiving. It's going to be really lovely. Other of you may be like on a Zoom call with people on the other side of the planet this week. There's an expansiveness. Some of you may be just making plans for your future, of what you want to do and where you want to travel and who you want to meet and who you want to connect with and what you want to learn. Like, just, we are the world. You can do anything. You can be anything. This week kind of shows you, I think, what's possible. There's like a lot of hopeful signs. It feels like comes in Scorpio, like little kisses from the universe left and right, where you're like, wow, wow, wow. That's what it feels like this week could just really bring in the wow factor for you. And like, what a relief. All right. Go to the Sagittariuses, and happy birthday to the Sagittarius that have early degrees of Sagittarius. I have two friends named Julie who have birthdays coming up soon. So love and kisses out to my Julie girlfriends. Both Sages. So my mom got a birthday coming up soon. My grandson has a birthday coming up soon. So you have this new moon, new beginning in Sag in the first house, which is the house of what you show the world. So there could be some sort of social media thing that goes out, or some sort of speaking thing, or shift in how the world sees you. You could change up your look. You can change up your appearance. You can have some sort of new thing that you're exploring, and it just consumes all of you. I'm going to be like diving into the study of fill in the blank, and it's just like all consuming. Or you're going to throw yourself in completely into something. This is shining a light on you as a Sag in a big, powerful way. So what new things do you want for your life? What do you want the world to see you as? What do you want to be known for? That's the first house too. It's like, well, he's a fill in the blank, when someone else would describe who you are, that's first house stuff. It's also like your face, like what you show the world you are. So okay, and I've got the guidance card. So this is about listening to and following your own intuition. I say that everyone is psychic. We all have an intuitive voice. When we're listening to our own inner guidance and following its direction, we are on the right path. If we second guess it, if we question it, if we change and do what other people want us to do, or like, well, is that going to work for Freddie and Tommy and Sally? What does it feel right for you? What I always say is, if it feels right in your gut, it's right for everyone whose life your life touches, even if they would go kicking and screaming as a result. Say you feel guided to break up with someone, and then you're worried about the fallout on them. If it's, that it's the right thing for your life, that your life would be better off without this person in it, or with this person further away and not in, then you can trust it's the best thing for everyone else as well. The other person in the relationship, even though they may not want to let go. A lot of times that's because there's some codependency going down, or there's some abuse going down. There's all kinds of unhealthy connections and relationships that people get stuck in, and then they get comfortable, but that doesn't mean that's the best thing for their life. So sometimes, when people break up with you, it knocks you off your game, but it may be exactly what they need for their life to be moving into a new direction. So don't worry about that. If you feel guided to change your jobs, your town, your apartment, your houses, whatever, change your clothes, change your relationship, whatever you feel guided to do, and it resonates in your gut as a yes, you could ask yourself, does this make me feel open and expanded? Or does it make me feel contracted and tight? You can ask your body a yes or no question, no matter what it is, and just check in. Well, what is my body feeling in response to this idea? Does it feel open and expanded, or does it feel contracted and shut down? That's a basic way that you can do a yes or no and to feel out whether something feels right for you or not. All right, Sagittarius. We'll go on to the Capricorns. So you're having this new moon in Sag in your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of past lives, the deep unconscious, the subconscious. It's where addictions lie. So there can be wanting to address addictive patterns. You could have a new person from a past life show up this week. A past life memory could surface from the deep, dark waters of your subconscious, just bubble up to the surface. So it feels deep. This new beginning in Sag for y'all feels like something deep is starting, and you may take you a while to notice what's getting started this week. Like you may not notice it this week. You may in hindsight go, oh, I started having some weird dreams that week, or something started shifting deep, because 12th house, you're not always conscious about it. So if something new is beginning in the deep unconscious or subconscious, you may or may not be aware of it. The more time you spend connecting and being present and awake and alive with yourself, the more you're going to be aware, oh, something deep is stirring, or I'm having some past life flashbacks, or I'm having people come into my life that I have past life connections with. But there's opportunities for new healing and new growth and development. You may decide to dive into doing a past life regression as a new thing with the new moon in Sag in your 12th house. That would be an example of a way that you could spin that. All right, let's see what your card is. We've got the inner voice card. This is the two dolphins vibing together. This is when your psychic ability is on. You're listening to the inner voice. You're feeling connected to someone else, whether that's someone who's crossed over, someone that's not where you are physically, that you are able to pick up on them. Inner voice, your inner noise is loud. This card comes up a lot when people are in a beautiful symbiotic relationship with someone else. Again, even if it's not in the physical, you could have a psychic connection with someone. They could be in another relationship, you could be, and y'all could just traipse through each other's psyches all the time. That happens all the time when people have deep karmic bonds. You could have a deep karmic bond with someone you have not even met yet and keep feeling like someone's coming in. Something's, I don't know, I just feel like something, this is that intuition, the inner voice, where something is like, my logical mind doesn't know what is up. The WTF moments are going on in my brain, but something feels like it's on or shifting in a very powerful way intuitively. When the inner voice card comes up, your intuition is loud and strong. It could be showing up in your dreams. It could be just showing up as little hits that you're getting as you watch the news, or as you talk to a friend, or as you're fixing your meals. You could just like get triggered, have something that pops. But this is definitely saying your higher self is being activated. Your inner voice is giving you some messages. So pay attention, and you can trust that if this message is about another person, they are tapped in and feeling it with you as well. Like it's a mutual thing going on here. That's what I get for the Capricorns. All right, Aquarians, this new moon in Sag is happening in your 11th house. This is the house of social networks and groups with others, like people that you spend in groups with, where seventh house is one-on-one connections. 11th house is when you get together with your soccer team, with your yoga class, with your whatever your group, your family, your circle of friends, your hiking buddies, your dancing group, your band. These are all, so it could be new beginnings when it comes to anything that you participate in with groups, networks, friends, clubs, this kind of thing. So there's going to be a new beginning. If you may be drawn, this would be a great time to start and check out that meetup group around whatever, or to, connect with that new yoga class, or, whatever it is that's involving new groups, new people. Yes, follow that, do that. That would be great, says the new moon in Sag. Let's see what your card is. We've got the existence card. This is a beautiful card. This is like the meditation. I find myself one with the universe. I am centered in exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. This is like just letting the past fall away. There's no worrying about the future. This is about being deeply plugged in to this present moment, the now. This is a deeply meditative card. So this is about creating that time and space to meditate, to receive income. We've got a meteor or something crashing across the skies here. This is about receiving divine messages, having things just cross your radar and land psychically. This could come in your dreams. It could just come from spirit guides or energy coming through you. It could come from messages from other people, but there's incoming divine messages I'm feeling this week, Aquarius. So like, this feels like beautiful, powerful, you can't ignore the messages. if you were sitting there meditating and you saw a meteor or comet streak across the sky as you were staring out into space, or even a shooting star, you would feel that as a divine message, something loud and clear. And it's that kind of like, wow, something that catches your attention, that comes as maybe a surprise that you're not expecting, but it's powerful and it's positive. So that's what I'm seeing this week for the Aquarian. So y'all report back to me if you get some sort of surprising divine good news or information. Let me know. All right, Pisces, this new moon in Sag is happening in your 10th house, which is the house of mission on this planet, what you came here to do. So this new moon could be exactly what you're needing, whatever you're needing to do that next right thing for your life. Like, what did you come here to do? What is your mission right now in your life on this planet? Whatever you would answer that to be, chances are there's a new beginning in that area in your life this week. Like, I'm getting goosies all over with that. So there's something super powerful for y'all with this new moon in Sag, for sure. Like, it is a new beginning that could be your legacy that you're leaving behind. So whatever you feel guided to do intuitively, follow that, because it could bring greater rewards than you even thought possible. All right, I've drawn the Innocence card. This is the guru, the grandfather that has all the wisdom. This could be you dispensing wisdom and advice and guidance to other people. It could be seeking out a person that's a guru, a sage, a mentor, a therapist, a doctor, someone that has sage advice, wisdom to impart, something for you to learn. It's also about just enjoying the simple messages. Look at, he's all delighted just staring at this grasshopper. This is about really fully being present about what's going on right now. And especially because this is the week of Thanksgiving and getting together with family and others. It's like, instead of getting caught up in all the details, can you get caught up in the look in someone's eyes and just making a heart-to-heart connection about just being fully present in your connections, in all your activities this week, just being here now, just being fully present and fully real, and just exquisitely enjoying everything that life has, like being able to be grateful for all the good things. And there's lots of them. If you train your eyes to look for all the benefits, there's an abundance of benefits, right? You little Pisces, you can be focused on all the positives and you only see positives, don't see the negatives, or you can be focused on all the negatives, all and get stuck there and don't see any of the positives. So let's try to moderate it out and get some wisdom from looking at both. Okay, there's positives and negatives and everything. What am I feeling called to do right now? What is my action right now? What am I supposed to give myself to fully right now in this present moment? So that's what I get for all the signs. So I'm going to pause this video. You won't even notice. I'm going to set up in my living room at my keyboard, and I'll come back and sing you an Elton John song after this brief pause that you won't even notice. Okay, here I am in my living room, and I'm going to be playing Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word by Elton John. So this song came to me this week. Like every week, I'm guided about what to play. And for the last number of weeks, I've been playing originals every week. So this one is a cover, of course, Elton John. And it just really spoke to me this week. I felt called to it. And then as the more I've been practicing it and playing it this week, I'm like, oh yeah, we have so many people that are going through really, really difficult times right now, relationships that have broken up, and people just aren't owning their stuff. They're not apologizing. They're not saying they're sorry when they've done something to hurt someone else. So anyway, hopefully you will enjoy this song. What do I gotta do to make you love me? What do I gotta do to make you care? What do I do when lightning strikes me? And I wake to find that you're not there. What do I gotta do to make you want me? What do I gotta do to be heard? What do I say when it's all over, babe? Sorry seems to be the hardest word. It's sad, so sad. It's a sad, sad situation. And it's getting more and more absurd. It's sad, so sad. Why can't we talk it over? Always seems to me that sorry seems to be the hardest word. What do I gotta do to make you want me? What do I gotta do to be heard? What do I say when it's all over? Sorry seems to be the hardest word. It's sad, so sad. It's a sad, sad situation. And it's getting more and more absurd. It's sad, so sad. Why can't we talk it over? Always seems to me that sorry seems to be the hardest word. Blessings. Have a great week. Peace.